good morning to one and all present here. I am Ramya.
And I'm Uzaifa. We are from 3rd year MBBS, Chettinad Hospital and Research Institute. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all today.
You have gathered here to celebrate the joyous occasion of Chettinad Academy of Research and Institute being announced as a Category 1 institute by UGC and accredited by NAAC A++ grade, and to offer our thanks to all those who have toiled to achieve this feat.
I now invite the dignitaries onto the dais. Respected Vice Chancellor, Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, Professor Dr. Shanta Ravishankar. Esteemed Chancellor, Chettinad Academy, Srimati Geeta Muttaya. Respected Chairman, Chettinad Group, Dr. M.A. M.R. Muttaya. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Mahesh V Panchagnula Dean, Alumni and Corporate Relations, IIT Madras. Valuable Advisor, Chettinad Academy, Professor Dr. T. Balasubramanian.
It is an honor and proud moment to all staff and students of Chettinad Academy. Our hearts swells with pride when we declare that our university has been accredited by NAAC with grade A++, securing a CGPA of 3.71. We gladly announce that UGC has granted a Category 1 status to Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, which is a very prestigious recognition for all of us here. We are happy to have Dr. Mahesh V Panchagnula with us as our chief guest to formally announce this and to felicitate our university. I welcome you all once again.
Every happy occasion begins by invoking the blessings of the Almighty, and keeping in line with this tradition, we call the students of Chettinad Academy to sing the prayer song. I request all to arise for the prayer song.
परिपूर्ण வாழ்வருள்வாயே பிரபோ கணபதே परिपूर्ण வாழ்வருள்வாயே பிரபோ கணபதே 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 ஆதிமூல கணநாத கஜானன அற்புத தவள ஸ்வரூபா ஆதி அற்புத தவள ஸ்வரூபா ஆதிமூல கணநாத கஜானன அற்புத தவள ஸ்வரூபா ஆதி அற்புத தவள ஸ்வரூபா தேவ தேவ ஜய விஜய விநாயக சின்மய பரசிவ தீபா தேவ தேவ ஜய விஜய விநாயக चिन्मय परशिव दीप प्रभो गणपते परिपूर्ण வாழ்வருள்வாயே प्रभो गणपते 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 गणपते
Thank you. The prayer song was rendered by Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Nandita and Ms. Sridevi.
I now request the Vice Chancellor, Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, Professor Dr. Shanta Ravishankar, to give the welcome address.
Very good morning to one and all. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Mahesh Panchagnula, Professor, Department of Applied Mechanics, IIT Madras, our Honorable Trustee, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muthaya, Honorable Chancellor Madam Tirumati Geeta Muthaya, respected Professor Dr. Balasubramaniam, our former Vice Chancellor, Member, Advisory Board, the dignitaries of the dais, the heads of all schools of Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, the faculty members, staff, and my dear beloved students. It gives me great honor and privilege to stand before you today on this joyous moment of celebrating our achievement during the recent NAAC accreditation cycle 3. It's been the blessings of the Almighty and the hard work of all our faculty members, our students, that has taken us to this success. And I heartily congratulate each one of you for the very hard work that has been put into this achievement. With this, I want to extend a very warm welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest of today, Dr. Mahesh, who is the, Sir has been the Dean of Corporate IIT Chennai, and he is the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and is Dean Alumni of Corporate Relations. Sir has an illustrious career for more than 2 decades of teaching and research. He is a person with many feathers in his cap, and Professor Mahesh is ideated and launched a pan-India science and technology magazine, IIT Madras, Shastra, the first of its kind in the country. And this feature has been the best of Indian science and technology. This magazine has been well received in India and has received the appreciation of the Vice President of India. Professor Mahesh has also pioneered the growth of IIT Madras incubation cell, and which has now become the best tech incubator in the country with more than 220 startups. Sir, it is our great honor, and we are so happy to have you with us. I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. I extend a very warm welcome to our Honorable Trustee and MD, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muthaya, and Madam Tirumati Chancellor, Mrs. Geeta Muthaya, who have been the greatest pillar of support to all of us in all our endeavors. But for their support and encouragement, I don't think this would have been possible. And I'm really grateful to the management and our MD, Trustee and Chancellor for giving me this great opportunity to be the Vice Chancellor of this great prestigious academy. And I am here today with the pride and happy moment to share this joyous moment with each one of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for this great opportunity. I extend a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries, faculties, the dignitaries of the dais, the faculty members, the principals, the students, and the staff of CARE who have toiled day and night to achieve this A++ grade in the NAAC accreditation to take us to the level of category 1 in the UGC ranking. I appreciate, I have great appreciation for the hard work which has been put in by all our staff members. They had worked extra hours during and before the NAAC preparation. They did excellent hard work, and they really spent overtime, even to the level of midnight. They went on working without being conscious about the time that they are working. So that is the kind of hard work and toil that has gone into this great success. I express my thanks to one and all, and I express my thanks to all the members who are present here to grace this occasion and make it a very joyous moment. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam, for welcoming all the members on this important occasion. IIT Madras, the pride of Chennai, is a globally recognized institute of national importance and has been ranked first in the NIRF rankings for more than 3 consecutive years. The institute is well known for excellence in technical education, basic and applied research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and industrial consultancy. Our chief guest, Professor Dr. Mahesh V Panchagnula, the Dean Alumni and Corporate Relations, IIT Madras, is a professor in applied mechanics with several years of teaching and research experience. He completed his bachelor's in mechanical engineering from IIT Madras and obtained his MS and PhD in mechanical engineering from the prestigious Purdue University, USA. His expertise in spray nozzle design, drying, atomization, combustion, and experimental fluid dynamics. He has worked with students from different geographical regions and premier organizations to build the next generation solutions in the area of fluid dynamics. Armed with a strategic combination of both industrial and academic experience, both in India and abroad, he was instrumental in setting up Nirman, the incubation center at IIT Madras. He has also served as the director of this center prior to taking up his present assignment. He has more than 100 publications to his credit, and he is lauded with many awards. Notable among them are TTU Sigma Award 2008, Who's Who in Higher Education 2006. I now request our chairman to felicitate the chief guest, Dr. Mahesh Panchagnula.
I request the chief guest to announce Chettinad Academy of Research and Education as a Category 1 institution and to unveil the plaque. Thank you, sir. Srimati Geeta Muttaya, the Chancellor of Chettinad Academy of Research and Education and Director of Chettinad Yoga, has a humanistic approach that inspires the organization to create a caring and culturally rich environment where learning is a joyful experience. A visionary and philanthropist, Srimati Geeta Muttaya's vision is to empower the organization to offer a transformational education that aims to develop creative, collaborative, adaptable and resilient humans who are ethical and compassionate while contributing to a sustainable future. We request Madam Chancellor to give away the Chancellor's address.
Thank you everyone for making this accreditation possible. We want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate each and every one of you for this effort and contribution. Achieving this was a full team effort, from the leaders to the doctors, healthcare professionals, nursing staff members, administrative personnel, technical staff, housekeeping staff, and of course, our dear students. This achievement was a result of hard work, commitment, collaboration at every level. Dr. Mahesh Panchagnula, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muttaya, founder and trustee, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shanta Ravishankar, Advisor, Dr. Balasubramaniam, Mrs. Jaya, our registrar, leaders, doctors, educators, and other members of this organization. It is truly a joy to be here today together to celebrate the A++ accreditation by NAAC. It is a pride and honor for everyone in CARE. As the Vice Chancellor mentioned and the students also mentioned, Dr. Mahesh is a person with numerous achievements and contribution to the field of education, research, and entrepreneurship. And he's a mentor who guides and inspires people every day. We thank you, sir, for being here with us. It is a true honor to have you announce us as the Category 1 institution. And the result of his endeavor has been a national record-breaking high funding to the tune of 300 crores in 3 years from the alumni. That has been contributed by the alumni of IIT. With an illustrious career of spanning over 20 years of teaching and research and over 59 publications and 2 patents, Dr. Mahesh has undertaken innumerable teaching and consulting assignments. He has a wide audience and he discusses topics ranging from alumni relations to applied mechanics, entrepreneurship to education, and impact to innovation. He is instrumental, as Dr. Shanta mentioned, in launching the Pan-India Science and Technology magazine, IIT Madras Sasta. So, and of course, he had great appreciation from all over the country and the Vice President too. Thank you. CARE has carved a niche for itself as a leading university in India since its inception in 2008. CARE is among the top 100 institutions in India. As we know, it provides quality education, world-class infrastructure, and facilities to impart the best professional knowledge. More than 3,000 students are pursuing their academic dreams at CARE. A considerable portion of our students are first-generation graduates belonging to rural and semi-urban areas. 100% merit scholarships are awarded to deserving students to assist and motivate them in knowledge acquisition. Chettinad Free Community Hospital was established with an initiative to provide quality healthcare services free of cost to all strata of society. So far, more than 1 lakh patients have benefited from this program. And we are keen on continuing and growing this initiative over the years. Dr. M.A.M.R. Muthaiya founded CARE with a lot of care. He invested tremendous time, energy, effort to make this dream a reality. Before CARE was built, this area was almost barren. The roads were not developed. He accomplished this Herculean task of building this 108-acre campus within a record time of 1 year. He knows every pillar and every corner of CARE. Beyond his core business, he has established several education and service institutions. But CARE, he has a deep connection and passion towards CARE. Today marks an important milestone of his vision, a milestone that recognizes all our vision, hard work, passion, and excellence. It is a very special day and genuinely an emotional moment for all of us. It is an important day for all of us at CARE. We have come a long way, we are doing well, and we have a bright future ahead. When we were experiencing an unprecedented, unpredictable pandemic, we stood together, served the maximum number of patients among private hospitals in Tamil Nadu. I really believe in the strength and power of our team to rise above all challenge, achieve greater heights every day. As we mark this milestone, we want to continue educating people from diverse backgrounds so that they can acquire knowledge, skills, training, and exposure to become qualified, competent, responsible, and ethical professionals who help people solve problems and save lives. We look forward to continuing our team effort to making this a successful, transformative institution and achieving our university's vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. You have eloquently described the milestones and highlights of this prestigious university and how CARE was built with care. We are sure that we will harness our tremendous potential to grow towards our vision.
Hailing from the renowned industrialist Chettinad family, known for their philanthropy and magnanimity, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muttaya evolved as a dynamic industrialist with varied exposure and expertise in field of education, healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, real estate, and various other industrial sectors. Post his education in management, being a proactive planner and expert in managing all facets of business, especially in strategic planning and project management, he has established several new organizations. With a vision of providing excellent educational services in our country, our chairman established the Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, CARE, which has now evolved into a distinguished university with several constituents, colleges, and schools. We now invite our chairman to give the presidential address.
Good morning, Professor Dr. Mahesh, Dr. Balasubramaniam, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and one and all here. This is one of the finest moments for this institution, as well as the people who are all involved in this. This milestone is not to anybody's credit, but to the institution who are all involved, starting from the students, the faculty, the Board of Management, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Infrastructure, Housekeeping, and all other people involved. So I like to congratulate everybody for all these efforts for put in this institution to make it as a NAAC A++, and on behalf of my family as well as a society and the trust, we thank one and all for making this institution and make us all proud of this institution. Getting into these details, this institution has got, especially this campus has got a blessing. Today everybody have money, anybody can put money and start institutions. But the institution should survive, and the institution should have all qualities to become like this. And this institution is blessed to have like this because the people make the place, and these people from 2004, whoever has contributed, whoever has retired, for all of them, on behalf of this institution, I thank for the efforts that has been put. And this institution is the fastest grown in front of my eyes. From the barren land, we got the medical college approval in 2 years of time and built in, and it was at that time the fastest medical college to come up in this. And in a very short time, it has become the premium medical college in the city. That is not easy by one person or the Board of Management. It is being done by the efforts of all. And also, in another 1.5 years, it has become the deemed university in 2008, which is also a fastest. Now, this institution is standing as the second best university in the country as far as the ranking NAAC A++ is concerned. And as far as this NAAC A++ is concerned, my contribution is not much, or I would say it is nothing, because it is all a complete academic effort and the student effort and the faculty effort. So I like to thank each one of them separately, starting from the infrastructure. I am sure Manikam, headed by Manikam and his team, I thank him for taking care of this institution for last 10 years. I won't see this institution lack of oxygen at the time of COVID. We served at least 650 patients, highest in one day at the time of COVID, and he is able to supply oxygen, water, electricity, and without any delay till so far. So the hats off to that team, and also to the housekeeping staff. In Indian circumstances, they are maintaining a decent, it is not to the international standard, and there is standard anyway, every time it has been up. So it has been maintained well. And coming to the students, I have not come across in my student life or in any college life such a disciplined students sitting quiet, wearing uniforms and cooperate completely with the college for the benefit of them as well as to the institution. So I thank the students for being cooperative with the management as well as the faculty and taking the best out from them. And the registrar, of course, has put her heart fully into it. She has come from a very humble, very low profile family to this level with her hard work. She has put so much hard work behind this, along with the Vice Chancellor, to make it NAAC++ and take it as a challenge herself to make it one of the premium institutions. And the doctors or the core here, they didn't hesitate to treat the corona patients at the time of corona. They raised for every occasion when it is required. We have some 350 doctors, excellent doctors. Every time they are making their own record breaking, and this has become a milestone on this doctor, especially Dr. Prabhu in super specialty. He is making a very, very good contribution to the society in and around, as well as the charitable hospital is doing well. So I don't know this, beyond this, from the Board of Management or from the family, whatever we have to invest on this, we had already done. From this point of A++, we don't know the way forward. Only the academicians and the doctors have to take it forward to the further heights. We have the tremendous potential in this area, and it is purely through the academicians and the doctors who can take it to the next level. Whatever is the cooperation required from the society or from the family, we will be keen to do it. But I would say that this is not the end. This is only a starting to grow, and this gives a platform for the university to grow to the world level. Now, you know, when we started in 2004, the resources may not join because we don't have a brand like IIT or IIM or anything as far as the educational institutions are concerned. So the people, high quality resource on faculties or on staff may not join the institution at the time of start because it is very hard to believe for them whether this institution will come up at the right pace, at the right time or not. But now today we had come to cross that situation, and we had survived that uncertainties on the institution, and we had come to a platform wherein the people will be ready to come. So I would request the registrar and the Vice Chancellor to bring a lot of resources and a lot of time. This is the time you can showcase this NAAC++ and bring a lot of faculties and very high quality resources to this campus to take it to the next level. Having said what is going on in my mind, I have to formally, I'll check whether I missed out any points. I thank Professor Dr. Mahesh for coming in the last minute as an alternative to Dr. Kamakodi. We miss him. He is very busy with the Prime Minister's meet and other meetings. So we had rescheduled for 2 times already. So we are actually want to reschedule, but since it is already 2 times, we just want to keep it going because all the arrangements were ready. So he was kind enough to come on his behalf and bless this occasion and give the chief guest speech. his credentials, I have a very high regards for IIT because I studied in JEE, I wrote the exam, I failed. So I have a very, very highest respect for IIT students and professors who are doing extremely well, and they are bringing a very big pride to the country. When you go out of the country and say you are a IIT graduate, they have a very high respect, and teaching them and bringing so much people from that institution is hats off to him and his teams. So I'm very happy to share the dais with him. And his credentials, just the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor said, he has been a mentor and an incubator to 220 startups, and he sits in the IIT Startup Board, where he is sharing with all the intellectuals and making the startup. I request him to take some of the medical startups also, and we will completely support whatever the science and technology. I remember when my father was Pro-Chancellor in Annamalai University, was the first science and technology conference. I had an opportunity to witness the whole conference of 1 week, inaugurated by then President Abdul Kalam ji. So I witnessed it. After that I was talking to him now. He said it has become a yearly affair. This campus is open to them. Anytime we can support to conduct those type of conference or any type of conference in this campus to take it forward. Now we are growing in medical, allied science, nursing, pharmacy, physiotherapy, law and architecture. Law and architecture is a different diversification from the medical stream. Of course, physiotherapy and pharmacology is taken off very easily, but law and architecture has got a very good name now. The deans have put a lot of efforts in the initial stage, and I hope that it will also come as a premier institution. And then I hope that this institution will score more than this 3.71. It will score more than this, maybe 3.8 or more in the next assessment, which is coming after 5 years of time. And this NAFR ranking also, the university as well as the medical school, to make it better, maybe within 50 or so. And also the students who are studying here has to take a lot of efforts to take happen. Because this university name depends on the output of the students who are going out, and where they get engaged and employed is a milestone to this institution. So I would request the students, your parents are spending quite a lot of money. Today the education is costing very high. For MBBS, the tuition fees are being paid at 20-25 lakhs. Your parents have been, kind enough to support you to that extent, which is a very huge money. So here, for that money, whatever that output that you are going to take, even for the PGs, they pay something like 25, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs. So the point is that you coming here and like some other commerce course or art course, spending 4 years or 5 years in this campus and then going as a pastime will be a national waste and your resources waste, and you are only occupying a seat. My request would be whether you should demand what you want from the professor, from the facility, take maximum out of it. If you are not interested, nobody else is going to be interested. Even parents, they can only fund you. Beyond that, they will not be interested to do your job. So I would request that you put a lot of efforts to extract maximum out of this 4 years and be elite and come in the top so that you will be happy in life and the institution will be proud of you. With this speech, I once again thank and congratulate each and every one. If I had missed out, it is because of my lack of memory. I would have missed. I know that Rao is not there, who has put the foundation stone along with my mother Sigapiachi. She was sick. At that time, she traveled all the way to put the Bhumi Puja in 2006. This auditorium is named after her. She has put a lot of efforts. Dr. Rao has put a lot of efforts, and all others in the initial stage have put a lot of effort to come to this stage. From this stage, it is easy to go, and I request all the academicians to take interest to make it more and more bigger and bring glory to this institution. I thank one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational address. We ensure that we'll work with greater zest to achieve the target, a NAAC score of 3.81 or above, as well as an NIRF ranking within the top 50 in the university category, and to make this university globally renowned.
I now request our esteemed chief guest, Professor Dr. Mahesh Panchagnula, to deliver the keynote address.
Chairman Dr. Muttaya, Chancellor Madam Geeta Muttaya, Vice Chancellor Dr. Shanta, Dr. Balasubramaniam, all of the dignitaries of the dais, and my beloved students and faculty. It's an absolute honor to be here today to share some of my thoughts on this very joyous occasion. Achieving a grade such as you've accomplished, 3.71 on 4 on the NAAC accreditation, is not easy. It is the result of years of hard work. It is the result of dedication by a large number of faculty, students, administrators, and as Dr. Muttaya mentioned, everybody from the janitor on up is responsible for this. I must first start by congratulating this entire fraternity for making this happen. Congratulations. You all deserve a very nice round of applause. With the Category 1 accreditation comes several privileges. You are now allowed to have campuses of care across India. You are now allowed to open campuses globally and spread this same spirit of excellence to other parts of the country and the world. That is the responsibility that NAAC has given to an institution such as this. To say, please take this spirit and spread to the rest of the world. Please create centers of excellence like CARE in other parts of the country and the world. And please take that responsibility with you. Execute that responsibility. And I want to come back one day to see CARE centers be inaugurated globally. And this same excellence spirit taking root in other geographies of the world. Along with this Category 1 rating or Category 1 status comes several responsibilities as well. You have privileges and you have responsibilities. India is a country that is very inhomogeneous. We have centers of education that span a whole range in quality and quantity. I would urge CARE to take some of the other institutions under your wings and help them grow as well. I have been in accreditation teams on the other side of the of what you would have experienced on 6th and 7th. I have been in accreditation teams for both AICTE and Anna University. And I know what universities go through in terms of the rigor of presentation, in terms of the rigor of making sure all of the data is presented in a fashion that the team can digest the essence of what the university is in a very short period of time. You need to see if that same process can be brought to other institutions and help them grow in these same sort of accreditation and rankings. I think we are too small a community for a large country like India to think of our peer institutions, whether it be in Chennai or elsewhere in Tamil Nadu, as competitors. We are too small. India is such a vast country that we need to look at all of the other institutions in this country as our sister institutions. And coming from an IIT, I take that same responsibility back with me. We mentor dozens, if not hundreds of engineering colleges, both in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, as well as in Kerala, to help them achieve the same excellence that IITs are fortunate to be known for. Now, Dr. Muthaiya talked about IIT and the excellence that it stands for. I want to remind everybody that IITs in India are 60 years old today. They were started in, IIT Madras was started in 1959. So if you look at the IIT Madras of 1979 or 1975, that is the apt comparison to where CARE it is today. CARE is only 15, 16 years old. And to have achieved this remarkable status in such a short span of time is certainly worthy of every praise there is. IITs are what they are today because of the students and the faculty that have made the institutions what they are. Decades of hard work by these groups of people have made what it is. So I want to remind all of the students back there, it is your responsibility to grow this institution into every stature that Mr. Muthaiya mentioned, a top 50 university in the country, to be ranked even better on the NAAC scale, and to really grow into a world-class institution where the world takes note of institutions like CARE and says, we want to be like them. There are hundreds of countries in the world that are not as fortunate as us. We need to be role models to them. We need to be role models to every institution in the world to say, look, you can create a world-class institution while taking root in your traditional values. That is the institution I see here in CARE. A world-class institution soundly grounded in Indian values. And I think we can be a role model to say every institution in the world, every institution in India can be like this. Healthcare in India is going through a revolution. We are seeing healthcare be accessible to millions, if not billions of people in India today at a price that is unparalleled in the world. To be able to provide excellent service at a price point where the world looks to us and says, how are you able to do this? Is something that we have and only we have. Cherish it and learn how it has happened. India has created this amazing healthcare system by three things. One, excellence in healthcare professionals, your doctor community. Excellence in healthcare process innovation. Some of the processes that our hospitals have are world class in terms of handling a large number of patients coming through the system and providing them care in a very personalized fashion. I happen to go by the free care clinic that you run here. That is a model that I wish is showcased for the rest of the world to see, that it is possible to provide this kind of care free, not just at a price point that others would learn from, but free. These kinds of processes are clearly Indian innovation driven. And the third leg on which this kind of a world-class healthcare system stands is entrepreneurship. Innovation by millions of people, everybody from a nurse on the ground to the administrator running hospitals. We've clearly innovated for a context that is Indian only. You can look at a typical eye hospital in Chennai and you ask how many cataract surgeries they do. And then you go to a peer institution, somewhere in the West and ask how many cataract surgeries they do. You will have to look at least 2 zeros difference. And at the scale at which we are able to provide excellent health care to our people and in comparison to what the West is able to do. These are metrics that are not easy to achieve. We in India have achieved this because of the three things I just mentioned. The best people India has to offer in terms of healthcare professionals, the best processes for anywhere in the world, and innovation that is taking root every day. And naturally, because we have this kind of a system, you see people from all over the world come to India to avail of the services here. You hear in the news of people from all over the world, from the Middle East, from Egypt, from the Southeast, choosing to come to India to have their healthcare needs taken care of. I think there is a lesson for all of us. But I want to reiterate, apart from these three legs where we've achieved excellence, there is one leg that is still somewhat weak. We need to build that leg into the strongest in the world. And that is healthcare research. The healthcare procedures, the equipment, the medicines that we offer to our patients in India today were almost all developed in the West. Be it your X-ray machine, be it your ECG, be it any of the medicines that we provide to our patients in India today were mostly not developed in India. I want to see the next decade to be the decade where our healthcare institutions take ownership of that vertical. Having excelled in the other three, I want to see our healthcare institutions take ownership of the research and development vertical to say, we can develop therapies, we can develop procedures and equipment, technology here in India that would serve not just the Indian populations, but the world at large. We've heard this many times. Solve a problem in India and you've solved it for the world. We need to solve this problem. This is our challenge that is remaining for the next decade or two. To find ways by which we can develop technologies here in India to serve the world at large in every way possible. And for that, we need to strengthen the human resource part of every healthcare institution in the country to have a part of their time freed up for clinical research, a part of their time freed up for technology development, healthcare technology development, a part of their time freed up to train the next generation researcher physicians of India. Both the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor talked of a new magazine that we launched earlier this year called IIT Madras Shastra. It's a pan-India magazine intended for the world to read what kind of science and technology is happening in India. What are the amazing discoveries that our people in India are championing, and for the world to read and understand where we are going. And this month's issue has a cover story where, with the title Physician Years, we want to graduate the physician years of tomorrow. Physicians who are also engineers in their mind. Physicians tomorrow cannot just be button pushers. They have to learn what is happening inside. As artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science take deeper roots into your practice, you need to understand what is happening behind the little screen in front of you so you can be better practitioners of medicine. This is going to be the way of the future. You need to embrace this way of the future and become physicianeers. Train your engineering minds as you become doctors as well, doctors and healthcare practitioners. I want to end by leaving all of the students with a message to take home. In the mid-2000s, when CARE was started, it was a fledgling institution under the able guidance of the Chettinad group, Chettinad family, Mr. Muttaya himself, Madam Geeta, and the Vice Chancellor and all of the academics. It has grown into an amazing institution in a very short span of time. Now put yourself in the shoes of an alumnus who graduated in 2008 from an institution that was on that day rated B+. Today, 18 years later, that person can proudly say, I am an alumnus of an A++ institution. Now that person, the day they graduated, that institution was not an A++ institution. But thanks to CARE becoming an A++ institution, today that person also derives the benefit of having graduated from an A++ institution. Now think of where you stand today and where you want to be 15 years from now. Each and every one of you will become an alumnus or alumna of this institution. It is part of your responsibility to grow this into a top 50 institution on the National Institutional Rankings Framework. Are you with me on that? If you make this institution a top 50 institution, wherever you may be in the country, you can proudly say, I am a graduate of a top class institution. So that is the power, that is the real power that IITs have. The 50,000 alumni of IIT Madras every day invested mentally, physically, financially, as well as in their time to grow IIT Madras. I urge each and every student in this audience to be involved in this institution, to grow this great institution to even greater heights. Wherever you are, remember, you are a graduate of this institution and be proud of it. Contribute back in any way you can and grow this institution, because tomorrow if this institution becomes a top 10 medical institution in the country, you stand to benefit. You will be proud of that achievement wherever you are. And as an alumnus, it is your responsibility. I want to thank Chettinad for giving me this opportunity to be here and say a few words, share my thoughts. And I want to close by reiterating a message that Madam Geeta Muttaya mentioned in her address just a minute ago. Successful transformative institution. This has to become a role model for what successful transformation in the healthcare industry will look like. Show by example that in the next decade, we can transform this institution into a successful research institution, producing devices, developing healthcare technologies right here in Chennai, being commercialized by you and the partner institutions in Chennai, and growing the ecosystem in India. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for that very enlightening speech. As you have told, sir, we will surely create centers of excellence across the globe. We also assure that we will mentor and handhold peer institutes to achieve this feat. We will also take healthcare research to the next level.
Now, the most awaited session for all our students. The curious minds of Chettinad Academy of Research and Education have come up with some questions that we will be putting forth on their behalf. Our questions will be directed to our resourceful chief guest, Dr. Mahesh Panchagnula, our beloved street smart chairman, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muttaya, our charming chancellor, Srimati Geeta Muttaya. We are sure that this session is going to be enlightening, fun-filled, and most importantly, we hope that the audience can take home some important messages to reflect upon, based on the words of wisdom from our esteemed dignitaries on stage. Before we commence, we the students of Chettinad Academy wholeheartedly thank our chairman for the Thursday movies. They are a treat, sir, and thanks to you, we have watched all the latest movies, from Dawn to Vikram to 777 Charlie. We also thank you for the delicious lunch that was served to us yesterday to celebrate the joyous occasion. Thank you, sir. Let's begin the question and answer session now. first question will be to our chief guest, Huzaifa. As a child and later as a teen, my ambition kept changing throughout. Many here would agree with me that it's the same with them. Isn't that so, guys? At one point, flight attendant, designer, TEDx talker, influencer were all on the list. Dr. Mahesh, sir, what about you? Was it a clear-cut choice to be an IITian?
So nobody makes a choice to be an IITian. It's a lot of hard work. But I went through the exact same journey that she was describing. You know, if you look at my resume, this is my 6th job as a professor of IIT Madras and now the dean. I've been in 6 different institutions. So I found, like I call this, I took the scenic route to IIT Madras. I didn't take the straight and narrow path. Having said that, I think if you ask me if I would change anything or going back, I would say I would change nothing. Every one of us at every point in time feel an urge to do something. At that point, put in your hardest work to do just that. If at every point in time you put in your highest effort to do what you are passionate about at that point of time, you will find success in every endeavor of yours going forward. You know, the overall picture of India today is very different from the India that I grew up in or Dr. Muthaiya grew up in. Today we are already a $2 trillion economy, and very soon we will become a $5 trillion economy. Now, if you go globally and find a $5 trillion economy and see what people there look like, in less than 5 years, we will be like them. Go do this homework. You will see the lifestyle that you will be living in even less than 10 years from now. Be ready for it. What you need to do to get there, to prepare yourself for that day, is to learn the value of hard work and passion of doing whatever you want to do. Back in my parents' days, a bank job was a very cushy job. Today, every job will be a cushy job. Tomorrow, you will create your own job, and that will be your cushy job. I think that's the India we want to create together.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can you share us if you have any other ambition on the list before you chose to become an IITian?
I wanted to be a lawyer. It is still on my wish list.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will.
We hope you will also, sir.
Chairman, sir, can you please tell us about your college days, where you were studious student or easygoing type, sir?
I was not, like they say, oh, No, you go ahead.
No, if I am studious and smart, I would have been IITian.
Sir, did you ever regret not being a studious student?
Every day now I am regretting. That's why I am saying my students that they should not waste the 4 years' time here.
We will surely follow that, sir. And to make sure we also study well. Question to our Chancellor, ma'am. We create unforgettable memories from school and college. Can you narrate your favorite college or school memory, ma'am?
I have a few memories, maybe I'll share. In school, I went to a boarding school. One of my favorite memories was we used to have our tuck shop, where they give all the snacks. And we used to go on walks to the forest every Saturday. And we used to play in the tree, near the trees, and we used to be there. That was one of my favorite memories. Of course, all our excursions, where we used to sit in each other's compartments, that was a favorite memory. And this, I've actually spoken to some of your heads who I work with. One of my favorite memories was when we were doing our board exams. Our school would take us to they wouldn't allow us to take our books in our school bus because we were going to another school to write this exam. And they would take us to a forest and they would just leave us there for 2 hours. And first we were irritated, we were angry, we said we have 2 exams the next day. But later we were just playing and we were, relaxing and we were having so much fun. And the next day we were very regenerated, but they were very happy memories. And one last thing I would like to share, my memory in college, surprisingly, is the classes themselves. I enjoyed the classes, the discussions we had, the dialogues we had with our professors, with our co-students. It was truly a joyful memories of the classes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, madam, that was interesting, ma'am. Nirman, the Incubation Center at IIT Madras is the nursery of startup dreams and is your brainchild. The faculty associated with this center have numerous roles to play. Dr. Mahesh, can you tell us how your experience both in the industry and academics has helped you to successfully establish this center?
Like I said, the India of 5 years from now is not an India where each of us will be trying to look for a job when we graduate. The first instinct of all good students in India will be to see what can I do myself. Even today at IIT, at least about 20% of our students either start up when they graduate or become like employee number 1, 2, 3 of a startup. So they really want to be part of an ecosystem where they are defining where they want to go. And as young graduates, the day you graduate, you are maybe 21, 22. I will urge each and every one of you that assume 5 years of your life is meant to take risk. Put your hardest work in those 5 years in an area that you are passionate about. So Nirman, our pre-incubator, is essentially there to provide a platform for our students to do just that. Those of our students that want to dabble, that want to do something on their own, can come experiment with that wish inside the confines of IIT Madras while still being a student and sort of experience entrepreneurship. They can go meet customers, they can talk about their business idea, they have their own business cards. They sort of are trying to build a business while not yet having incorporated a company on its own. So this phase gives them the confidence that when they graduate, they know what entrepreneurship feels like. And the vast fraction of them, I must say, don't go on to do a startup. But entrepreneurship remains in their minds and hearts. So experience that. Do something on your own. So tomorrow, wherever you go, even if you're working for somebody, that person will value you as an intrapreneur. You don't have to always be an entrepreneur. You can be an intrapreneur. And most companies of tomorrow will want intrapreneurs on their roles who will create value from within the company.
Thank you, sir. Can you suggest some startup ideas for the medical university, sir?
If you just walk around this place with your eyes open, there's so many ideas. India is one of the world's largest importer of healthcare equipment. Our healthcare equipment import bill is only next to our oil import bill. That's it. You don't need any other data. Every equipment you see in this hospital, you have a chance to improve upon it, indigenize it, create value right here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll surely take that up, sir. The core values of House of Chettinad are strive, save, and serve. Chairman, sir, we are talking about the values inscribed in Chettinad Group. These values, for sure, have percolated into every organization of the house. Chairman, sir, what do you think that the students must develop as core values in life?
I think the simplest answer would be wisdom. But as my father and I used to say, only blessed children will have wisdom in a very young age, say like 15, 20, 30, 35. Everybody is going to get the life experience and the wisdom at one point of time. maybe 40, 50, 60, even 70. Some unfortunate people may not get it till their life also. But the point is that after your self-conception, anything you do, you have one company, you can put 10 companies, you can run 10 companies, you can mentally own the 10 companies, but you are not going to consume the 10 companies or the money or the employments or whatever it is. It is only a mental mindset that you own it. Instead of one college, you have 5 college, 10 college. It is actually a social asset under a charitable trust and society. So what it means is that after the self-conception, it is actually a service that you are going to do to the society. But people think that they own it and then they go after it. So the moment they realize that after the self-conception, whatever the extra they do, it is for the people around them, to the circumstances and surroundings. If they have the ability to know it at 20, 25, 30, that adds more quality life and value to them. So, and then this quote is much simpler, like strive, save and serve, because after striving, after your self-conception, you are going to save it. And whether you want to serve it or not, it is going to be a service by way of employment. If you run a big company where 100,000 people working, 200,000 people working, it is one type of a service that you are giving an employment. If you are building an institution like this, it is a service that you are giving to education. But at the end of the day, we think that we are doing everything, but more than the self-conception, we are only doing actually real service. So if they think that maturity is coming faster, earlier, better for them, for their life.
Thank you, sir. That's a very important take-home message for our students.
Madam, you organized a one-day workshop, CARE Vision 2020, with the aim of deriving the vision mission statement of Chettinad Academy. Balasubramanian sir and VP sir kuda sonnanga ma'am that they will serve with essentials lunch that contains broccoli and cucumber, ma'am. Was it your own recipe, ma'am?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it's something that's made at home. Yes, thank you.
Ma'am, adu unga question illa, ippada unga question varudhu, ma'am.
Can you state the vision of Chettinad Academy of Research and Institute?
I can tell the points. It is to offer a transformative education, to create individuals who are empathetic, ethical, and responsible, and to work towards a sustainable planet and a sustainable future. So overall, it's a transformative journey for all those who are involved. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Mahesh, Chettinad is discipline. Discipline means Chettinad. Being the students of Chettinad, we hardly have the chance to bunk classes. Dr. Mahesh, during your college days, have you bunked classes?
Yes.
Can you share one incident with us, sir?
I think a part of what a college offers is education in the classroom, but also the fact that a lot of like-minded individuals are co-located together and you can learn from each other. You know, in our old Indian philosophy, there's a small Sanskrit verse. It says, I will translate into English, it says we learn 1/4 of the education from our teacher, 1/4 by your own reading and self-effort, 1/4 from your fellow students, and 1/4 from the passage of time. As you keep applying some of the things, you will learn the remaining 1/4. So it's only 1/4 that you learn from not bunking classes. There's 3/4 more to be learned from your own time outside the classroom. Now I want to say one more thing. It's very important that this 1/4 that you learn in the classroom has to be learned with the complete diligence, because this 1/4 is the foundation for the remaining 3/4. If you ignore this 1/4 in the classroom, you go home and try to study something on your own, that will be difficult. You go talk to some other student who has also bunked a class, guess what he or she will teach you. And guess what will happen with passage of time? You'll only get worse. So this 1/4 is important, paying attention to what you learn in the class. I want to say one last thing. You know, in this day and age, the world is our classroom. I can go on YouTube and pretty much learn any topic on earth, at least get started learning. Then what is a classroom? The classroom is the place where you come to clarify whatever you've heard or said somewhere else and focus on that clarification aspect in the class. And for that, your complete presence is important. I'll say that.
Thank you, sir. Chairman, sir, did you just hear our chief guest saying yes to bunking classes? Even if 3,000 scheming students in this campus come up with new techniques to escape from disciplinary practices, you're able to thwart them all in one go, sir. Kudos to your intellectual thinking, sir.
Education has been in the forefront of all your initiatives. Madam Chancellor, can you share your viewpoint regarding Chettinad Yoga in a few sentences?
The Chettinad family has been in education for more than 90 years, and several institutions sprung up organically. When we had the factory, we needed the school there. We had an engineering college, Polytechnic, which is 75 years old. So there are different types of organizations, government schools, private schools. One thing when I got in, we found that we need to be unified with a vision and share expertise, share knowledge, and form systems and procedures that will support the organization totally and identify talent. So we thought, so Niyoga's main objective is to support the organizations, if you are asking me about the objective, is in all our organization, the schools, is to create a joyful environment where children learn happily, and are compassionate citizens who contribute to a future, sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Lockdown has been a roller coaster for many of us. Healthcare sector workload was heavy. So many doctors did not go home for many days at a time. Non-essential services came to a standstill. Dr. Mahesh, sir, how did IIT Madras tide over this bleak period with regards to academics and research?
You know, COVID has been an eye-opener for all of us. It has been devastating globally and as well to IIT Madras. We closed down IIT on March 23rd, 2020, when the state government said all colleges have to close. For about a week, there was no teaching. Now remember, IIT has faculty members that are 30 years old and 65 years old. It's hard to teach a 65-year-old faculty member to do things differently. But thanks to COVID, every one of the classes, within 2 weeks, every one of the classes was being taught online. So all of us learned how to use online media to teach and start going in that direction. Every one of us started to step up and help students reach their homes safely. Faculty members would go to each and every room, pack up their belongings with a video camera turned on while the student was watching to make sure you pack their belongings and ship them off to their home safely. Because the students didn't know, I mean, all of us thought we would be back again in 2-3 weeks. Who knew it would be 2-3 years? So this kind of dedication by faculty, staff, students is a hallmark of all Indian educational institutions. I will say embrace it, become and cherish it, respect it, and be part of it.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir. What was the role played by your alumni during this time in terms of contribution to the institute and society?
Alumni stepped up and helped Chennai actually in a big way. When COVID hit, we put out an appeal to all our alumni to contribute, because at that time, especially the peak of the second wave, there was a big oxygen supply problem and ventilator problem. And Mr. Muttaya mentioned how Chettinad Hospital was able to withstand that scarcity. But the rest of Chennai was not as fortunate. Our alumni stepped up and we raised upwards of about $2.5 million, about 15 crores. In a span of 1 week, we bought ventilators, and at that time, the corporation did not need money. They really needed ventilators. So we not only raised the money, But we used our alumni network to talk to people in GE, Philips, buy ventilators and supplied 500 ventilators to the city of Chennai, to the corporation, as well as to Bangalore. So this goodwill that alumni have for their alma mater is something I urge every one of you to carry with you. It's very important.
Thank you, sir. That is inspiring for us as well.
The Chettinad Group, true to its vision to improve the society, is providing industrial and business development, healthcare and education. With the NAAC A++ accreditation, where do you see Chettinad Academy 20 years from now? We request the chairman to answer this question.
I think I answered this in my speech itself. When you start something, you will not get any good people to manage it. But when you have a brand or some basic platform, then you will get all kind of support. So today, Chettinad LCT has got that platform of NAAC A++, where the people, intellectuals and other highly knowledgeable resources you can tap, and they will be interested to see, because they know that this has got something basic and unique and straightforward to move on, because otherwise they will not believe. So using this platform, only the academicians and doctors can take it to the further efforts, because money and the society can do to a certain extent only. At the end of the day, it is the people who can do it. So it is the campus people who can do it, and we are of support of it. I don't know in which direction it will go, but I'm sure, like with the support of IIT and Dr. Mahesh and things like that, we should be able to sky high in 20 years of time, where this institution, when it is celebrating a 25th anniversary or 50th anniversary, it should be a known university in the entire country. I hope and pray for that, and I need all the supports of all the students. As he said, the students, as Dr. Mahesh said, the students have studied here. If they perform well, and if they become like today CEO of Microsoft is Indian, all big companies Indian, like that, if in one of the healthcare places, if Chettinad student is an Indian like Mayo Clinic or somewhere in US and bring a very big name, that will add more value to this institution at that point of time, like Dr. Mahesh said. So that he will be a brand ambassador. So I request the students to grow themselves, which will have the automatic intangible growth to this institution, which will add value to the years to come.
We will surely follow that and grow towards our potential, sir. Madam Chancellor, we know you love all your students very much. Students are also one of the important stakeholders of Chettinad Academy. What, according to you, is the students' role in keeping up the NAAC score of the institute?
I think Dr. Mahesh and Chairman also touched upon this. I think if you're asking about NAAC, it would be research and community activities. And apart from NAAC, I think the role of students is to enjoy learning and truly be a part of your, become independent learners and take responsibility for your learning. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We will surely follow those.
Ramya, now we have a set of rapid fire questions to all the three dignitaries on the dais. The first set of questions will be directed to our chief guest. Sir, you will be given 10 seconds to think and answer.
Huzaifa, 10 seconds to think and answer. Arambikalama.
Who is your greatest inspiration?
Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
How did you feel before your first lecture?
I pause for 30 seconds every time I have to do a lecture.
What did you do on your first day at office as Dean Alumni and Corporate Relations?
I called about 5 of my alumni from the class of 1964, who are our oldest alumni, and sought their blessings.
What is the biggest risk that you have taken in your life?
I was an entrepreneur for a couple of years. What I told you, I practiced. I didn't succeed, but I did practice what I told you.
What would be a good theme song for your life, sir?
Sorry?
What would be a good theme song?
Theme song for me would be Vande Mataram.
What is one message you'd like to give to your students and the audience gathered here?
Be your own person.
Dr. Mahesh, you
I want to
answered.
close by saying, there's a very nice saying. It says, everybody is unique, just like everyone else. So remember that you are unique, just like everyone else.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mahesh, you answered it very well. And we are now moving on to our chairman. Chairman, sir, you have only 10 seconds to think and answer.
I need 20 seconds because he is IITian.
It's a strict rule, sir. 10 seconds to think and answer. We have heard plenty of stories recounting how good your memory is. Even if minuscule alteration or rearrangements are made within the Health City campus without informing you, you're quick to find out. Now to test your memory further. Can you tell the uniform color of first year MBBS students, sir?
Sorry, I lost the touch because last 4-5 years I am not looking at this. See, the point is once you automate it, when you're starting something, the leadership is required to follow it very carefully till it comes to the autopilot mode. After that, if I keep on continuing and following this uniform, I can't do anything in life. So I can only do this. This is my 10 days job or 1 week job to automate it. After that, if I spend something wrong with my staff and my down the people. So this is not worth more than 1 week of my time. But the point is that I have to say this. I want to, because all of my friends and family want to stop this uniform. So we put a survey in the second year of my college, especially to the girls, to stop this uniform. And I thought that if the majority of the girls say yes to stop this uniform, but unfortunately the survey turned out to be negative, and 90% of the girls wants the uniform, and they had their own reasons for the uniform because they don't have to look at what brand they wear, what shoe they wear, what earring they wear, what they have, their mother have to take for shopping. They're very dress conscious, that other boys are looking them. They are very health conscious. There is no disparity between poor and rich. There is no disparity between beautiful person and a non-beautiful. So many things are recorded in that survey. And even they come without taking bath because they have to come to the anatomy job in the early morning. So the survey turned to be that uniform is non-judgmental, easy to wear, and it's more simple that they can focus in something. So the survey from the second batch of the girls and the boys, they made 90% that we loved uniform. First we hesitated, but we loved uniform wearing that. That's why it's conducted. And I have to say this, after our college started, so many colleges started this uniform also.
We are in accordance to what you said about uniform, sir, but you escaped the question. You want the answer, sir.
I still remember the first year uniform of the first batch. But
You can tell that, sir.
After that, it is the people who do it. I can see your third year uniform. This is so. First year must be yellow just to prevent the ragging. In those days, the ragging. Yellow is right or wrong?
No, sir.
Because my wife selected one time. After that, I But the point is that this ragging is no more. Now the first years are ragging the second and third year because of the law of the country. But in those days, to avoid ragging, we used to have a separate hostel with separate uniforms so that we can identify. So we had come a long way now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Professor Dr. Balasubramaniam has mentioned in many of his speeches that our chairman has built this university brick by brick. Sir, can you tell us in which year we were declared a deemed university?
2008.
Thank you, sir. Correct, sir. You answered this question, sir. Now the difficulty level increases. Can you tell your Aadhaar number, sir?
See, used to remember all the phone numbers of all my friends and relatives. Now from 1995, the this technology comfort has taken away everything, even the other comfort. So I just show the phone to wherever it is required. So there is no need. I can use that memory for something else because
That's
the
a correct
technology has
answer, sir.
advanced.
If you had said your Aadhaar number, we would have said it was confidential, but you answered it smartly, sir. Name one dish which Madam cooks that you relish.
No, I can't differentiate, and I have to go home. That all dishes are good and excellent.
Brilliant answer, sir. One quality of yours that you would like to be remembered about you.
I don't know. I am not such a big person, but I feel that perseverance and hard work will definitely yield results on a long run.
Sir, what is the weirdest question that you have been asked? இந்த question மட்டும் சொல்லிடாதீங்க, sir. Weirdest question.
Actually, this is the first time I am answering a question session.
Sir, you have answered it really well, sir, but that was expected. Now, the last set of rapid fire questions is for the Chancellor, ma'am. Which of the institutions under the Chettinad group is closest to your heart?
I was part of Harishri from its inception, from the thought, from the seed, from the infrastructure, the culture, the ethos. So yes, Harishri.
Ma'am, we expected it to be care, ma'am.
Ma'am, we expect answer to be care only. We hope the next time it is care.
Care is very dear to all of us.
Name any character that you would relate yourself to in either fiction or mythology.
Character I relate myself to. Not able to think of anything. Okay, I saw this movie with Jyotika. She's a principal in one village, so I'm not sure what the movie is.
When did you and Chairman first meet?
We met after we were engaged, actually.
When did you and Sir first share a stage together?
This might be the first time, yes.
What was the most recent gift that you received from Sir?
I think a necklace 2-3 years back. Or
Sir, is it correct, sir? Ma'am, let's talk further down the memory lane. Can you tell us when you took charge as the Chancellor of Chettinad Academy?
2019,
Yes, ma'am.
August.
Thank you, ma'am. You answered it really well. Let's encourage the dignitaries who are so sportive to answer all our questions. Please give them a big round of applause. Now we are back to the regular session. The present Gen Z generation is facing more challenges in spite of having advanced technology to make life easy. Dr. Mahesh, what are your thoughts on the transition from millennial to the Gen Z generation? Are we better off or worse than our predecessors?
I'll say certainly better off. Absolutely. When I look at myself as a student and I go into a classroom today and look at the students, I will say if I wrote JEE today, I would not pass the exam. I would not be a student there. Students are much smarter than when I was a student. All of you are going to be better than your parents, better off than your parents. You're all going to have so much more information at your access, much more easily accessible. But there is one thing that does not change, and that is the value of hard work and dedication and perseverance. I'll say your parents have given you the life you have today. You have to be grateful to that. Your teachers have taught you every bit of what you have today. You have to be grateful for that. Your parents were grateful for that the generation ago. your children will be grateful for what you will provide your children. And those of you that will become teachers, your students will be grateful for what you provide to them as education. So this fundamental Indian value, gratitude to parents and teachers, is something that will never change for centuries and centuries to come. And I think information is available in its full, but there will always be a role for a parent and a teacher. Respect that.
And we'll surely follow that and respect it, sir.
For most of us, the concept of pocket money is a luxury. சில நாள் கிடைக்கும், சில நாள் கிடைக்காது. சில பேரண்ட்ஸ் லாவிஷா கொடுப்பாங்க, சில பேரண்ட்ஸ் பாக்கெட் மணின்னு வந்துட்டாலே கஞ்சமாயிடுறாங்க. ஸோ ஃபீஸா கட்டுறோமே எதுக்குடா பாக்கெட் மணின்னு கேட்குறாங்க. ஸோ சேர்மன் சார், உங்க காலேஜ் டேஸ்ல எப்படி சார்?
The circumstances and situations may change, but the parents and the children are the same forever. So even next generation also same only. So it's not, so the scale may be different, but the issue is the same.
சார், ஏதாவது ஃபேவரட் மெமரி இருக்கா உங்க பாக்கெட் மணி வச்சு நீங்க பண்ணது?
சண்டை போட்டு தான் வாங்குவேன்.
தேங்க்யூ சார். மேடம் சான்சலர், யூஎஸ் காலேஜஸ்ல அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்னு ஒரு கான்செப்ட் இல்லை, ஆனா அங்கேயும் பசங்க படிக்கிறாங்க, பாஸ் பண்றாங்க, வேலை செய்யறாங்க, செட்டிலும் ஆயிடுறாங்க. சில பேர் உங்களை மாதிரி சான்சலரும் ஆயிடுறாங்க. இங்க என்னன்னா பிசிக்கல் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் இஸ் கிவன் சோ மச் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ். கிளாஸ் பங்க் அடிச்சா 30 மினிட்ஸ்க்குள்ள வீட்டுக்கு மெசேஜ் போயிடும் மேம். எங்களுக்கும் இதே மாதிரி கொடுத்தா என்ன மேம்?
See, number one, Dr. Mahesh ரொம்ப நல்லா he explained about why attendance is important. But attendance, all of you are doing professional courses, and attendance is almost mandatory, and it's a requirement by the bodies. That is one thing. But
அங்க எப்படி இருக்கு? Why not in our country we follow the same system?
Sure. One is the professional courses that you are all are doing. Another thing, it's the entire system. There many students fund their own education. So they are very serious about education. நிறைய பேர் ரொம்ப சீக்கிரமா they become carpenters, plumbers, they work in a supermarket. But here many of our children come to college because of parents' persuasion. Most students are interested. But the responsibility சில சமயம் அந்த ஏஜ்ல needs to develop a little bit more. But you can't lose out on your academic experiences. So maybe, and also it's a requirement by the bodies. But if an attendance has to be completely non-mandatory, the entire system has to be different, right? It's not one attendance not working. The student is completely responsible for his or her own learning journey.
Would you bunk?
No, sir.
Correct.
And also the students end up paying the loan. They are in debt for the next 15 years, 10 years. So they know the seriousness of what is happening. And the chairman also said even what you're paying here is very high. So you should utilize what you are coming here for.
Yes, ma'am, we sure will.
Every student has an unforgettable incident with their teachers, which will always remain etched in his or her memory. We request the chief guest to share one such unforgettable memory as a student.
exam. I can never forget that. This happened in 1988. What is it now? 34 years later, I can still see his face with tears rolling down.
Thank you, sir. One more question to you, sir. In any batch of students, we have first benchers, middle benchers, and back benchers. What was your choice when you were a student?
I was a second bencher.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman sir, you have been successful in many business endeavors and have been an enterprising entrepreneur. What is the business mantra you would like to share with our young doctors?
See, success is a very relative comparison, but the point is in management, you should know the job. Otherwise, you have to use the leadership qualities to, to maneuver it. But the moment you know the job, it is easy to manage any organization. Easy to be a HOD, easy to be a team leader, easy to be anything. If you know the domain knowledge, till you drill down the last, if you know the job, it is easy to manage thousands of people. There is no problem. But if you don't know the job, then you have to depend on somebody, and that's where that lot of lapse is there. So first, when you take up any leadership, first thing is to acquire the domain knowledge as much as possible. Even the deliverables from the people, each one will be saying one thing. Unless you have domain knowledge, your leadership is squalid. But having said, for the professional courses that you are in, everything what you study here is available in the public domain. So you study for 5 years, and if one question put up like this, that question direct answer you can get from public domain. So there is no need to study also. But the point is, your patients or your people who are going to be there in the future when you are going to work, they are going to be a full knowledge, or they will see the public domain and then they will come with more knowledge than that of what you have. So you have a very, very high task. In earlier days, 20 years ago, this medical field, what doctor says is the truth. Today he comes up with a list of questions. The patient comes up with a list of questions, and then he goes around and he has all access to all information. So unless you want to be a good doctor, means unless you are able to answer all those questions and handle him, convince him that what you are doing is correct, you will not be considered as a good doctor. That means since the knowledge level across the platform is increasing every day, you have to scale up your knowledge to a very high level to perform in your profession. Otherwise, you will be one among the run-of-a-mill person in the future to come. Because everything is available to everybody. You can't just be yet another doctor. And if you are yet another doctor, even that nowadays the norms are changing. Every street college is coming. So 10 years ago, yet another doctor was useful for a head count like electric engineer. It was useful to a head count to get the salaries from medical colleges and other hospitals. Nowadays, the years to come after 5-10 years, even those degrees, I presume, it is my opinion, it is not true, that your certificate may not be useful for head count also after 5 to 10 years. So you have to be really good to perform. Actually, you are in professional course. You are not in salaried course. So you should perform on your own. That's very important. So you are taken a course that is very difficult to perform, and please do not see the core peers that he is not studying, is not studying. The moment you are higher up, if you are in the top bracket of 5 to 10%, then they themselves will push you to the very high. So first is to the group. Whether you are in the top 5% or 10%, the moment you are in 5-10%, the whole crowd will push you further and further up. If you are in the last 5-10%, the whole crowd will push you down over the years. So just group it along with the top 5 to 10% so that it will take on its own to your future.
Thank you, sir. We'll keep on updating our knowledge. Madam Chancellor, what's the best thing you like about Chettinad as an educational institute?
what I like about CARE is the possibilities, is the opportunities and the abundance of resources. Not just in terms of money, but how it has manifested. Tremendous, when I first went to America, I met this person and they said, if you want to learn, the sky is the limit. There is no limitation in America. And that really struck a very big chord in me. I feel in Chettinad, the limitation, it's limitless possibilities. You have tremendous, in terms of infrastructure, facilities, your faculty, your everything, you have abundance. So it is, I think that the potential is what I like the best about Chettinad.
Thank you, ma'am.
One last question to our chief guest. Sir, after answering all the questions, how do you feel about this interview? Did you enjoy this interaction or epada mudiyonu thoduda, sir?
Absolutely delightful. This is my daytime job to talk to students. So this is something I absolutely cherish. And I want to end by thanking all of the students who gave these questions. They were very insightful. And I want to thank all of you for being patient listeners. I think this has been a wonderful morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we conclude our interactive session. We request the audience to give another big round of applause to the dignitaries on the dais. And we thank them for answering all our questions patiently. Of all the attitudes that we can acquire, an attitude of gratitude is the most important. Keeping this in mind, I request Professor Dr. T. Balasubramanian, former Vice Chancellor and Advisor of Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, to propose the vote of thanks.
Esteemed chief guest of this day, Dr. Mahesh, respected driving force of the CARE, our managing trustee, Dr. M.A.M.R. Muthaiya, our honorable and most beloved Chancellor of this university, Dr. Geeta Muthaiya, most respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shanta ma'am, distinguished faculty members, student friends, good afternoon every one of you. I need not say the kind of joy and the entertainment you had just before as a part of this day is very unique. And Dr. Mahesh, the chief guest of the day, he could be able to elaborate the milestones behind us and what we can do further. And he has given a very scintillating lectures. And on behalf of the management and on behalf of the administration, student friends, teaching faculty, I thank sincerely for all the ideals which he has given, the 3 points as well as the 4th one, the research. And I'm sure we will follow your ideas, sir, and we will take it up and we will make it. And we thank on behalf of every one of you for this wonderful advice. And further, I request that Dr. Mahesh, as well as his director, Dr. Kamakodi, who is supposed to be here, and unfortunately he is busy with the Prime Minister. But see, definitely one day Dr. Kamakodi will also come here, because it is our long-term wish for our beloved registrar, Dr. Jaya, to bring Dr. Kamakodi and to have more interaction with the students like this. That is her dream. Definitely they will come, it is not far away. And at this juncture, I request Dr. Mahesh to have a permanent MOU with Chettinad Academy, and thereby there will be a perfect interaction between IIT as well as the Chettinad Academy, and thereby your dream as well as our dream of making many health devices from this campus, because our chairman is always looking forward to invest anything which is very useful to the society as well as for science. That way, we are so grateful to the chief guest of this day for igniting so many ideas, as well as agreeing to have a MOU with our academy, as well as to have more collaborative research programs between IIT as well as Chettinad Academy. So I once again thank you, sir, for your sincere thing. Next to, see, I can give thanks. Thanks is not a play of words. Thanks is an expression from the bottom of the heart. See, we have been enjoying this beautiful campus, which the campaigner also mentioned. Almost in every meeting I used to mention the kind of sweat that is being made by our most respected and beloved chairman, Dr. Sri M.A.M.R. Muttaya. Imagine this 100 acres campus, which is the barren campus, which has the world-class facility. That is because of his far-sighted vision and the passion he has for the science, especially the health science. And I had an opportunity to be with them. As he mentioned, there are so many people behind this growth, and he has every driving force on his own rather. And I have been associated, as he mentioned, Dr. Rao, as well as the other senior members. See, the passion, the driving force our chairman has, we salute him rather. It is because of this campus could be able to generate so many potential graduates as well as the postgraduates in medicine and other sciences. And the day is not far away, because his dream is right from the day one, he should be a world class. Sir, we have reached this A++. I'm sure reaching this world class is not far away, sir. Definitely, before you celebrate the next decade, we will definitely reach the world class, sir. We have so much avenues, so many dedicated faculties are there, we can get it, sir. I give this tall assurance because I know that we have dedicated faculties, dedicated team to develop the more research as well as devices, and that way we can become the world class. I mentioned, our chief guest said we should be one among top 50 institutions. Already our medical college is one among top 50 institutions in the country. But I'm sure in the years to come, we will be in the rank of one among top 10 institutions in the country, as well as we will reach the world-class institution, and that is our assurance that we would like to entrust to our managing trustee. No doubt, sir, thank you so much, sir, for driving us, managing trustee, sir. Thank you so much for driving us to this level. And coming to our chancellor, everyone agreed, including the students, that we had such a honorable chancellor, but down-to-earth personality, moving with faculties, moving with the students, and totally dedicating herself in all the things, especially from the day one. Her task is to make a transforming education in this campus. It is happening, madam. Thanks for your driving ideas, and we will follow it up. Definitely, we will take your valuable ideas, and we will follow you, madam. Thanks for being here today for this wonderful occasion. It is needless to say, as chairman said, it is for the first occasion, both our chairman and chancellor together. We are so fortunate to have both of them together on the dais. And let us give a big hand for the chief guest as well as for our chairman and our madam. And coming to the next important people I should address for thanking them for achieving this status. No doubt, we have so many well-wishers and advisors who have been giving constant support, constant encouragement in the growth of this institution. So on behalf of the management as well as administration, I thank not only the present management board, as well as all those well-wishers who are giving constant support for us. I thank on behalf of every one of you, thank all the advisors they are giving for the growth of the institution. And next to that, I would like to thank the IQAC team. IQAC team is most important team, and they have done lot of wonderful work because they burnt many candles, because they worked till midnight as already mentioned, because the team leader is Dr. Arun Kumar, ably assisted by the Dr. Menyana Kumar, and all the other followers who were following them. See, unless otherwise we submit the data report on time, we may not be able to reach this status. It's not a one-day affair. It is a year-long affair. So the team has done wonderful job, and all these things are made possible because of our beloved registrar, Dr. Jaya. She is another driving force to make this IQAC team rather. And our sincere thanks to the whole IQAC team, the Dr. Arun Kumar, Dr. Menyana Kumar, and all those, including the dean, the deans of other schools. Everyone is involved in that, because that is the most important aspect for submission of the necessary data to NAAC annually, and then to meet the team when they visited. The whole team has been made responsible for that, and I sincerely thank every one of the IQAC team, including the director of the team, for making this to reach this A++ rather. Equally, the lab, all the three labs, that is most important, and the labs, that is the microbiology lab, the biochemistry lab, pathology lab, and they have also maintained excellent thing based on the enable accreditation, and we could be able to reach the status. See, not only that, our clinicians, our other supporting staff, everyone was involved in making the preparation of the document, as well as in facing the team when they visited our campus for assessment. So, my dear friends, I take this opportunity to thank all the faculty members, all the deans, all the teaching faculties, supporting faculties, everyone for making this to happen and to reach this status rather. No doubt, the students are the backbone. Without the student support, we may not be able to reach this status. So we thank the research scholars, the students for making this status. And as our chairman said, the maintenance of infrastructure, the infrastructure team, especially the NAAC team, when they visited, they have a greater appreciation for making such a huge solar energy in our campus. And they mentioned that it is one of the best practices. And they have virtually seen how it is functioning in our campus. And that way, the infrastructure team also deserves more support. We are very much thankful to the infrastructure team headed by Mr. Manikam and his team. They have done excellent services all these years as well during assessment period. And needless to say, fortunately today, our chairman, not only chairman and madam came, they also brought his son and daughter, and really we are thankful to you, sir, for bringing your son and daughter. And it is such a wonderful occasion, joyful occasion. They are here with us, and it is our good fortune to say all these things. And I once again thank our chairman for bringing their son and daughter. And the campfire, especially the students' interactive session, is in fact totally stole the whole day rather. In fact, no, all the other things have gone because they could be able to interact with, it's a rare occasion I would say, students can interact with the chief guest as well as chairman and chancellor, nowhere happened, and maybe this is the first time in the campus that it won't happen. And the thing is that our chairman has time to answer all these things because, you know, he always count his time and he always spend his time very usefully. He don't waste his time. But today, I'm sure our chairman, chancellor and chief guest, they all would have engaged, they all would have been much more happy by this interactive section. And all these things are, I missed our beloved vice chancellor, and she is again a supporting pillar in marching all these academic programs, and she always give her excellent support for not only NAAC, for all the other activities, she's giving full support. And we should also thank our beloved Vice Chancellor also. And no doubt, I can lengthen my speech, but already time is running short, and our chairman is hosting an excellent lunch for every one of us, and that we may not be able to miss. So I should say that I am thankful to so many people, including my good friend Dr. Jagannathan for his timeless services during thesis period, as well as all the people, including the control of examinations. See, I can say that it will take another half a day for me to thank individually one after another. But needless to say that I didn't omit anybody, and it is as our chairman said, it is a team effort, and we all joined together, and we could be able to achieve. But our days are there to achieve the world-class ranking by creating more center of excellence as well as the Institute of Eminence. That should be our next job, and I'm sure we all will work for that. Let us rededicate, and we show our sincerity to our chairman and chancellor that we will definitely achieve this. With this, I take this opportunity to thank the chairman as well as chancellor for giving this rare opportunity to be with them on the dais and to deliver this vote of thanks. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Sorry, I have to barge in because I forgot totally. Dr. Balasubramaniam is like our family member. He was working in Annamalai University for so many years. When we started this university, my father was the pro-chancellor of Annamalai University, and he used to assist me and advise me in so many things. On the day of de novo inspection for deemed university, we actually almost failed, but for Dr. Balasubramaniam. He brought 2 innovative courses, and then he impressed the inspection peer team, and because of that only we got the deemed university status, and because of that only we have today NAAC. So all credit goes to him for being here. I lost it, or I thought that he's always, we don't appreciate our family members or close to people less. So I forgot that. And I thought the registrar and vice chancellor would have taken a list of people who had contributed and felicitated that. Today Dr. Priya is here, Vice President is here, Dr. Rajesh Khanna is here, registrar himself, all the first employees from 2004, and they never shifted to any other medical college till today, and then they're still continuing in the same college for the growth of this institution. So you should facilitate all the employees who have been continuing for last 15 years with us, and all the employees who had contributed, or the faculties who had contributed also in a separate function, and facilitate them is my request. Thank you.
I'm sorry. See, many of you may know the legacy of Chettinad, because for the want of time I didn't speak much. Again, chairman always say, Dr. Balu, don't speak about me. Any meeting he used to advise, don't speak more about me. That's what he used to say. But our salutation is only for that young man. Imagine at the age of 35, he could be able to transform this, and he could be able to make this institution. Unless otherwise there is passion, unless otherwise there is sincerity in developing this institution, it won't happen. Unfortunately, his father put me to this, and since then I have been associated with this university. I'm proud to say that I would be at the feet of Sri M.A. Muttaya, although I am elder and he is younger, but his knowledge and passion, one has to really worship rather. One has to emulate rather. You need to be that way. And all those things I learned only from this Chettinad legacy, Chettinad family. And name it whether industry or education or even the culture, even the construction of temples. See, you can name so many things. And above all, the food. See, Dr. Chittibabu used to mention, the former Vice Chancellor used to mention, the one who ate Chettinad food. It is Amirit. He will live long. He lived 100 plus, sorry. Yeah, he lived 100 plus rather. Why I am telling, as long as you take Chettinad legacy, definitely it will take you to greater heights. Sir, I assure you, I will be with you till the end of my life, sir. I won't go anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request all to arise for the national anthem.